In the early 90s, Lil Kim crashed into a male-dominated hip-hop scene with a bold feminine flair and flamboyant fashion sense that set her apart instantly. Her petite frame, doll-like glamour, and unapologetic confidence made her look like she had stepped straight off a runway. Her obsession for clothing, fearless approach to designers, and willingness to take risks, Kim became hip-hop's forever fashion it girl. She didn't just shift how female rappers were seen. She gave the industry a new template for what a successful woman in rap should look like. But with influence comes admiration, and with admiration comes duplication.
A rock star is anyone who isn't afraid to be over the top, risque, a trendsetter, anyone who really takes pride in their work.
Welcome back to the Unsolved Mystery of Lil Kim. In this episode, we're starting off in the future. Beam me up, Scotty.
This thing with Lil Kim and Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj has been here to the show, friend to the show. If you don't know who Nicki Minaj is, then you better ask somebody, baby. I mean, she's only the hottest. And Lil Kim is a legendary rap icon. The brief history of it is that Kim is ultimately upset because the younger Nicki has never listed Kim as her influence
Nicki Minaj,
in her rap career.
One of the most successful women in rap history, is now fighting battles she can't seem to win. Her recent feuds calling out Jay-Z, Roc Nation, Desiree Perez, and their network of power players feel bigger than just rap beef. But before we even think about today, we have to ask, what was Nicki really stepping into when she entered this rap game? Was she simply the next superstar, or was she designed to replace one? Were the same executives who once pushed Lil Kim also responsible for shaping Nicki Minaj into a modernized version of her? And if so, is this the turbulence we see now? The price of that legacy? This is the Unsolved Mystery of Lil Kim, Onika, Tanya, Maraj. A story about legacy, imagery, duplication, and puppeteering. What happens when the industry doesn't just imitate, but orchestrates? Did Nicki Minaj take Lil Kim's image, or was it handed to her?
Hi, can I ask you some questions? Sure. Because you are looking fabulous.
Oh, thank you.
What are you wearing? Because I need that, okay? Take it off now.
Yeah, this is something you definitely need.
Like, totally.
Yes.
You make a statement wherever you go. I mean, it's incredible. You are inspirational. What do you think about that?
Oh, I love to just be glamorous, and with all the supermodels, you have to always be ready because they're gonna come out glowing. And right now, I'm the spokeswoman for MAC Jamaica. And I support the Viva Glam 3 lipstick, which is a support for the MAC AIDS Fund. So we support kids and people living with AIDS.
Are you wearing the Viva Glam?
I'm wearing my Viva Glam. My stylist, Lisa, she's here.
She looks good too. Let me talk to her. Can I talk
When
to her?
I started
All
doing
right.
research on Lil Kim, like real research, I started understanding her persona more. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. It started to feel like really familiar to me. Like something like I've seen before. Maybe even something that I felt before. But what I did know, that it was familiar. Now, when we think about it, in the early 90s, at the grand scheme of things, Lil Kim didn't just rap. She transformed into hip-hop's first fashion doll. I thought about how Barbie at its core is a fashion doll, and how Kim embodied that naturally. The hair, all the luxury labels, her petite doll-like body frame, the glamorous beauty obsession, It was like she stepped literally straight out of a designer toy box.
Not Bill Bellamy. You're Ken, and I'm Barbie.
That's right. We're Ken and Barbie today, and this is MTV Jams. And
This Barbie right here wasn't plastic. She was real. She actually lived this real Barbie experience. She was the actual doll, moving through the male-dominated rap world with the style blueprint nobody had ever seen before. But here's where things get interesting.
Yo, it's your man Jump Off Joe Budden, and we at BET's The Cypher, right? I got my girl Nicki Minaj with me, my man Buckshot, and my man Crown Royal. So I'm gonna have my girl Nicki set it off like this here.
Call me Dracula, cause all I do is count chips. Your money, many, I ain't talking about the mouse trick. These girls running like I just threw the bouquet. They know I'm headed to the top like a toupee. Now all the bums is wondering where I bees at. You ain't a Barbie, it's none of your freaking beeswax. These little rappers, I can see them in my dash cam. I know they got you like Oscar by the trash can. I'm on stage, you can sit in the crowd. I be up in Learjet, make a laugh at the cloud. I think she need the Heimlich, she the choking kind. She gets no burn, no smoking sign. Yeah, metaphor heaven. So they approve Nicki like my credit score 7. Mac and cheese, 6 fried chicken nuggets. And I'm killing me, just like picking it up.
Barbie, to covering herself in pink, to literally merging her identity with Mattel's logo. Years later, Nicki Minaj didn't just embody Barbie, she branded it. Nicki took the Barbie idea and turned it into a marketing empire.
She is right now and how far the career is going. So, Nicki, the first question I gotta ask, as a female MC, do you find that it's hard to get respect from like all the male rappers and just respect in general?
No, I've gotten tons of respect from the male rappers. Lyrically, you know what I'm saying? I've gotten respect from the best that I've, I get respect from Jadakiss. He's up there. He's definitely in my top 5. I've gotten respect from Wayne. I've gotten respect from the big dogs. I think who I still don't get the respect that I think I deserve yet from is the average, the listener, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes when they see me, that's why I kind of tone myself down, because I don't want people to think that it's all about, trying to be sexy. I'm not a vixen. I'm not none of those. I'm a female rapper. I'm also a writer and an actress. That's what I went to school for. So I tried to tone it down a little bit because people sometimes don't see that. So I think they're the only people that I still have to get the respect from. The industry, unless they're being really phony, they always give me my props, you know what I'm saying? Like when after listening to the CD, I got a call from Jadakiss that was priceless. Like he just was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? You really are that next bitch. I just shot the come up with Foxy. She said the same thing, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I get respect.
She became the perfect doll. Flawless, untouchable, made for mass consumption. Literally a Barbie for the algorithm era. And spiritually, that's where the irony hits. Because this hyper-materialistic, fashion-obsessed Barbie image, the same one Kim actually lived, ended up working more favorably for a light-skinned, exoticized Trinidadian woman than it ever did for Lil Kim.
If you don't know, the pose where you're holding a lollipop, bending down, do you think that that's a necessity to sell records? Or
No, it's not a necessity to sell records. Look at no, to answer your question, no. But it did accomplish what I set out for it to accomplish, and that was getting people attention. It's probably the reason why you're interviewing me right now, like Hip Hop Gang. Shout out to you guys. But it got everyone's attention. The thing with attention is when you get it, you have to be ready to say what it is you've been wanting to say for the last billion years. And that was just used for me to get people's attention to say, hey, I got a mixtape out. It's called Sucker Free. Listen to it. I know, I'm the baddest bitch. I just want you to hear me. I just want you to hear me. I just want you to hear me. I just need I needed a platform really. So I used that as my platform to stand on, and that's what I did. And it pays homage to Kim, obviously. You know what I'm saying? She did a great job.
Clearly,
but I'm here.
The industry loved Nicki's corporate Barbie, but Kim's lived Barbie, the one that was real, gritty, too raw, too black, that Barbie never got Mattel's stamp of approval. So, I guess the question becomes, Was Nicki's Barbie identity organic? Or was it a carefully engineered branding move designed to take a blueprint that Kim already lived and make it more marketable to the mainstream? And if that's true, then who's really behind that move? Because Mattel never really seemed to question the brand confusion. Neither did Atlantic Records. It's almost like the industry saw Kim's creation and decided to make a version they could control. This isn't new. The fashion world does it too. Black creativity gets borrowed, polished, and resold without credit, all in the name of rebranding. Barbie has always represented an ideal of womanhood, one that was never really made for Black women unless she was edited, filtered, or reimagined. Lil Kim was that unedited Barbie, the one who reflected the beauty and chaos of real womanhood in hip-hop. Nicki was the edited version the machine could sell. And when you look at Kim's story, the surgeries, the insecurities, the constant comparisons, you start to see what happens when the world profits off your blueprint but leaves you behind. That's tragedy. That's the mystery. So maybe all this time, the real question isn't who copied who. Maybe the real mystery of Lil Kim and Onika, Tanya, Maraj isn't even about rivalry at all. Maybe it's about how one woman lived an aesthetic the world wasn't ready to celebrate, and another woman packaged the same aesthetic for a world that suddenly was. The real mystery is how the original can be erased by its own reflection, and how the world still refuses to acknowledge the truth of origin. It's just strange when you really think about it. Atlantic Records, the same label that once had Lil Kim, that tried to sign Nicki Minaj, and that later produced the official Barbie soundtrack, I don't know. Something about that doesn't really sit right. Because we're just not talking about random coincidences here. We're talking about an entire system, one that decides which kind of woman gets to represent hip-hop femininity in each generation. Now, Kim lived it. Nicki branded and marketed it. But somehow, it always feels like someone else actually profited from it. So now, I'm asking myself, who's really in control of the Barbie blueprint? The deeper I went down the Barbie rabbit hole, the more I started realizing this isn't just about two women. It's about an entire system. A system that seems to recycle the same image, the same formula, just dressed in new faces and new generations. And once I noticed that, I couldn't unsee it. Every trail from Lil Kim to Nicki Minaj to now that I even realized even Cardi B somehow led back to one name that keep reappearing in the shadows. Atlantic Records. Once I started looking deeper into Lil Kim's career, something didn't add up. I couldn't shake this one. Why does Atlantic Records keep showing up every time the image of the female rapper evolves? Just think about it. Biggie was signed to Bad Boy, but Lil Kim, his prodigy, his masterpiece, she was under Atlantic Records. Now that's interesting because Kim was Biggie's vision, his creative experiment. He shaped her into what he believed a female rapper could be: bold, sexual, luxurious, untouchable. She was the first to make femininity in rap look strategic. But here's where the story twists. Biggie's gone, but that idea, that image of the hyper-feminine, fashionable woman in hip-hop, it doesn't disappear. It moves labels. And suddenly, Atlantic becomes the quiet keeper of that blueprint. Fast forward, the same label that signed Lil Kim, the same label that wanted Nicki Minaj during her early years, is now the same label that produces the Barbie soundtrack and pushes Cardi B to the forefront as hip-hop's next leading woman. Like, I don't know about you, but something about that feels too connected. Why does Atlantic keep circling back to the same aesthetic, the same type of woman, just wrapped in new packaging each decade? So I guess the story was never really about Lil Kim versus Nicki Minaj, or even about who copied who. It's about the manufacturers, the people behind the systems, behind the image, behind the packaging, behind the idea of what a female rapper is supposed to look like. Lil Kim lived Barbie. Her version came from experience, survival, and self-expression. Nicki reimagined Barbie. She gave it a new sound, a new voice, and made it global. So what if both women actually needed each other to complete the story? What if what Nicki Minaj is facing right now is the price of that shared legacy? And our figures like Jay-Z, Diddy, and the major labels are more connected to this story than we've been led to believe? Maybe time will tell. But what I do know is acknowledging origin isn't disrespectful, y'all. It's necessary. Lil Kim and Nicki Minaj both shaped hip-hop in ways that make it impossible to celebrate one without recognizing the other. So, learn to love both. Learn to honor both. And remember, the truth will always outlast the illusion. This is Cloud -9, a hip-hop fashion channel dedicated to exploring the unspoken perspectives and truths about Black American style and culture. Now, if you've been enjoying the Unsolved Mysteries of Lil Kim series, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this video and to this channel. Also, you can follow me on Instagram here at DJ Selby and at Cloud -9. So yeah, I'll see y'all in the next episode. Peace.